Now, if a person is dealing with gastroparesis and constipation, they'll have a hard time correcting that sometimes. And the reality is that in some cases, each issue can have a variety of things contributing to the problem. It's not always just one thing that's causing both of those issues. But with gastroparesis, a lot of people are just kind of told like, oh man, your stomach's paralyzed. It just doesn't send things out of there. You probably need a new vagus nerve, and that's just not telling things to do things the right way. But we need to keep in mind that the stomach's job is to acidify that food so that it starts that breakdown process and then send the food in the small intestine to continue on that digestive process. So if that food is not being acidified correctly, wouldn't it make sense that the stomach wouldn't send it down to the small intestine yet? Remember, that's its job. Acidify the food and then send it to the small intestine. So for a wide variety of reasons, a person might not be making enough stomach acid, and they're not making enough acid to acidify and break down that food correctly. So when that's the case, the food has to break down by like rotting and fermenting. And that process will take a lot longer and is not as effective, which means you're not really acidifying the food as well as you really need to. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that that bolus moving through the intestinal tract can move at a pace according to its acidity level. So if the stool is a lot more alkaline than it really should be, it will move slower, and then it will get harder and drier and more difficult to move. Now, there's also some other issues about the body sending water to the wrong place. Maybe it's sending too much water to the kidneys and not enough to the bowels. There are some imbalances that can create that problem that can really either cause constipation or contribute to constipation. So there might be more than one thing going on. A person could also be dealing with some type of overgrowth, either in the stomach or the small intestine, where bacteria really shouldn't be. And the waste from that bacteria can be very alkaline. That's kind of restricting the ability to acidify the food and break it down, or slow it down moving through the intestinal tract. So there's a variety of issues that can go wrong. So if you want to understand these things and steps you can take to figure out what might be going on with you, click on the link on the screen or in the pinned comment or in the description of this short for our full video on gastroparesis and constipation explained in simple terms.